we're doing is we are finding the factoring and the intercepts, which is basically what we've already done. Okay, factoring and finding the intercepts practice. What we did originally, you don't have to copy this down, but just watch. What we did originally was, we said we had 3 terms. I did my AM method. So I needed 2 numbers that multiplied and gave me what? 25, and 2 numbers that added to give me what? -10. You can look at your yellow sheet, or you can use your calculator. So you have your packet at home?
Yeah.
What did you guys get? In your calculator, you can do 25 divided by x in your y1, and then 25 divided by x plus x. What are my factors here, guys? What did you say? So -5 and -5. Is Michelle right? Yes, okay. What we learned with our shortcut, if we don't have a number in front of this x squared, I can just plug in x minus 5, x minus 5. The problem is, if you look at your equation here, it has equal to 0. So because it says equal to 0, I can't stop there, I have to keep going. What's x minus 5 equals to 0? What's x going to be? What's the opposite of -5, guys? 5. And on this side, x minus 5 equals 0. What's my x going to be? 5. Okay? That's originally how we learned how to do this, right? Here's what we're going to do now. Let's go to our Desmos. We're going to type this in, and we're going to get our x and our y intercepts. Okay, so let's go to Desmos. And I'm going to type in my equation. I have x squared minus 10x plus 25 is equal to 0. I cannot see the whole thing based on my standards here. I'm going to zoom out. All right, your x-intercepts are, did I write this down right? X squared minus 10x. All right, good. Do you guys see a y-intercept on your graph? Mine looks different. Let me check my app. But you should be able to find an x and a y. Well, the first thing you should do is go ahead and write down this x-intercept. What do you get for your x-intercept? 5, 0. Okay, that's your x-intercept. You can write that down. Minus 10x plus 25. Yeah, why is mine not really... This is really weird. X squared minus 10x plus 25 is equal to 0. I guess for you guys, it's better to not put the equal to 0. Just leave it as it is. So just type in x squared minus 10x plus 25. So then we can see my x-intercept is what? Okay, let's talk about this for a second. You guys see how it looks like this graph is only touching the 5 one time, right? But we know that if it's x squared, I gotta have at least 2 answers. That's what that 2 tells me. So what that means is a double root. And what we can do here is, if you look back here, my answer was x equals 5, right? That means it just happens twice. It's on there twice, but from us, it looks like it's on there just once. If I scroll up to look at my y-intercept, what do we get? 0.25. Okay, so on your paper here, I'm going to erase this because I was showing you guys the long way that we originally learned. My x-intercept was 5, 0. I'm going to put dr beside it for double root. That means it looks like it was on the line just one time, but we know it has to be 2. And what was my y-intercept? 0.25. All right, let's do the same for number 2. Number 2, I have negative x squared minus 7x minus 12. Let's type that in. Negative x squared minus 7x minus 12. All right, I gotta get back to my original graph. All right. You guys see this picture? What are my x-intercepts here? Good. Negative 4, 0, negative 3, 0. Write that down. Michelle, what do we get for our y-intercept? Where am I crossing the y-axis? What's that point?
0, negative 12.
Good. 0, negative 12. All right, so I'm going to write that down. Okay, remind me again, it was our x-intercept for what? Michelle, what was my y-intercept?
0, negative 12.
Okay, so whenever we have an equal sign, guys, they want us to say what the solutions are. These are my solutions. I'm not going to make you factor when there's an equal sign. Does that make sense? When there's an equal sign, they want answers. So therefore, just use Desmos. All right, you guys do number 3. 7x squared minus 9x minus 2. Is anyone confused on how to type this stuff into Desmos? You guys are all good with that part? All right, 7x squared minus 9x minus 2. All right, look, Curtis, what do you get for your x-intercept? Oh, did it? Do you ever charge your computer?
Yeah, I do. It just it dies.
All right. Do you have a charger? Here, use mine. And sit your computer up here because the second you're going to do some independent work. Do you have the app on your phone? You can use that or you can use my app. Oh yeah, you can want to sit up here, that's fine. All right, Joanna, what'd you get for your x-intercepts? Where are we crossing the x-axis?
1.49, 0. And then
Are you looking at your y-intercept or are you looking at this one? All right, so 1.479, right? And then you got negative 0.193. All right, Saida, what did you get for your y-intercepts for number 3?
0.
Okay. So you got 0, negative 2? Good. You guys go ahead and do number 4. I'll put the answers up for 3. I would type in number 4 exactly as you see it. 4x squared equals negative 52x minus 48. David, you get anything for that yet? 4x squared equals negative 52x minus 48. What'd you say? Okay, so the reason why we're not seeing, oh yeah, there is no y-intercept on this one, just your x. You should have negative 12, 0 and negative 1, 0. You guys got that? I wonder if I can drag there has to be a way to do it. Alright, so for number 4, there are no x-intercepts, sorry, there's a y-intercept. My x-intercepts are negative 12, 0, negative 1, 0. All good? Alright, now we're going to go backwards. We're going to go back over what we did on day 1. Okay, that was all about the graph. We're going to do 2 of these together, and then I want you guys to do the rest. Look at number 1. Let's type x plus 6 times x plus 4 into Desmos. For your vertex, I do not care. We're not using that formula. We're just looking at our computer. I'll type this one in with you. All right, so we have parentheses, x plus 6 times parentheses, x plus 4. Is this what your graph looks like? Yes, no, maybe? You got that, Josue? Okay, so mine is at, like my grid is probably wider than yours, that's why. I zoomed out more. If yours is up closer, that's because it's closer in. But we can still figure out, if you tap, what's my vertex here? Do we all see that? Negative 5, negative 1? No matter how big your grid is on your calculator, sorry, on your Desmos, click the vertex. You should have negative 5, negative 1. Once you have your vertex, go ahead and graph it too. Negative 5, negative 1. Let's go ahead and skip down to our x-intercepts. I want to be able to sketch my graph. What is my x-intercepts? So your x-intercepts are negative 6, 0. What else? Wait, your x-intercept? Oh, I did mine backwards. Yep, I sure did. X and then negative 4. Alright, once you have your x-intercepts, let's go ahead and plot those two. I did this last night while I was watching the game, so clearly I was a little distracted. Once you have 3 points, just try to sketch your graph as best as you can. I'm not going to be really picky on this. I know it won't look exactly as it should. Someone tell me what the y-intercept is. You may have to zoom out to find your y-intercept. You should get 0, 24. Is anyone struggling trying to find their y-intercept? Alright, let's go back up. My axis of symmetry. For this answer, it always has to be in x is. Okay, that's what that equal sign means, x is. What is my axis of symmetry? It is the same as my x value and my vertex.
Wait.
And my vertex. -5. Guys, imagine axis of symmetry means if I were to cut this graph in half, it'll be right down the middle, right? So if you count over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's -5. What direction is my graph going? Is it going up towards positive infinity or down towards negative infinity? It's going up, so we're going to do positive infinity. Does that mean I have a max or a min?
Max.
Oh, I heard both. Do I have a low point or do I have a high point on the graph? I have a low point, so I have a min. As far as you know right now, our domain, it looks like it's like just here, but from left to right, this graph keeps going wider and wider and wider. So my domain is from negative infinity to positive infinity. All quadratics will be negative infinity to positive infinity. If you don't get anything else right on this test, you should get that. All right, and my range, all right, my range starts from here. It always starts from the bottom. Where does my graph start? We're looking at our y values for range, right? -1, and I'm going up towards positive infinity. So my range is -1 to positive infinity. You can look at your y value of your vertex as well. Does that make sense how we just filled out everything in this problem? All right, so I'm kind of throwing you to the wolves, but I want you guys to do 2 through 7. And then we're going to come back together in like 20 minutes. I'm going to put the answer key up. Then we'll go over it. Yep, let's see 2 through 7. Okay, they're all graphs. They're all just like this. Make sure you're sketching the graph. Make sure you have your vertex, your axis of symmetry. If I were you, I would get the vertex first. Then I would do the x-intercepts. Go ahead and sketch your graph. And then I will answer the rest of the questions. All good?